There is a specific window of time, exactly 20 minutes before you drift into deep sleep, where the walls between your conscious reality and the quantum field of infinite possibility completely dissolve. Most people use this time to scroll through their phones, replay their anxieties, or worry about the bills they have to pay tomorrow. And because of this, they wake up to the exact same reality they fell asleep to. But there is a secret, a hidden protocol used by the spiritual elite, passed down through oral traditions that date back thousands of years. It is a specific secret of words, a prayer that acts as a spiritual key. If you say this prayer tonight with the right intention and the right frequency, you flip a switch in the universe. You don't just wake up rested, you wake up to a shift. You wake up to a notification on your phone, a refund you didn't expect, a client who finally says yes, a sudden idea that is worth 10 years of hard labor. This is not magic. This is mechanics. And if you are hearing this voice right now, it is not an accident. The algorithm didn't bring you here. Your vibration did. You asked for a sign, and this is it. So put your phone down, close the other tabs, and listen very closely. By the end of this video, you will have the exact words that have turned poverty into empires overnight. But you must understand how to use them, or they are just empty noise. Let me tell you about the man who first revealed this to me. In circles of high finance and old money, he is simply known as the Rabbi. He doesn't appear on Forbes lists, yet he advises the people who do. I met him in a private library in Brooklyn, a room that smelled of old parchment and mahogany. I asked him the question that everyone wants to know. I asked him how he built his fortune so effortlessly while others struggle and grind for decades only to end up broke. He looked at me, adjusted his glasses, and said something I will never forget. He said, "You think money is a result of what you do with your hands during the day. You are wrong. Money is a result of where your soul travels at night." He explained that the world we see, the physical world of credit cards, bank accounts, and debt, is merely the printout. It is the final result of a program that is running in the background. If you try to change the printout without changing the code, you will just get ink on your hands. The code is written in the subconscious, and the only time you have full administrative access to rewrite that code is in the state the mystics call the twilight and scientists call the hypnagogic state, that drift between being awake and being asleep. He told me a story about a young man named David. David was a contractor, honest, hardworking, but drowning. He had a supplier demanding payment of $4,000 by noon on a Tuesday, or he would place a lien on David's house. It was Monday night. David had zero in the bank. He had tapped out his credit lines. He was panic-stricken. His heart was racing. His palms were sweating. He was preparing to call his wife and tell her they might lose everything. He went to the rabbi that evening, shaking. The rabbi didn't offer him a loan. He didn't offer him a business strategy. He gave him a slip of paper with 3 sentences written on it. He said, "Go home, do not check your email, do not look at your bank balance. Lay in bed, close your eyes, and repeat this until you fall off the cliff into sleep." David thought it was insane. He wanted money, not a prayer. But he had no other options. He went home. He laid in bed. His mind was screaming with fear, but he forced himself to focus on the words. He repeated them over and over. Eventually, the anxiety broke. A strange peace washed over him. He fell asleep. When David woke up the next morning, nothing had happened. The sun was shining, the birds were chirping, and he still owed $4,000. He checked his phone. Nothing. No miracles. He felt a pit in his stomach. He started to get dressed, preparing for the humiliation of the day. At 8:15 a.m., his phone rang. It wasn't the supplier. It was an old friend from high school he hadn't spoken to in 5 years. The friend said, "Hey David, this is going to sound weird, but I had a dream about you last night. I remembered you helped me fix my roof years ago, and I never really paid you for the materials. It's been eating at me. I'm doing well now, and I want to square up. I'm sending you $5,000 via wire transfer right now." David dropped the phone. The money hit his account at 10:30 a.m. He paid the supplier by noon. He had $1,000 left over. This wasn't a coincidence. The rabbi explained that when David said the prayer, he wasn't begging. Begging implies lack. Begging tells the universe, "I don't have." And the universe replies, "Yes, you don't have." The prayer was a frequency alignment. It tuned David's internal radio station from the frequency of debt to the frequency of receipt. And because the universe abhors a vacuum, the money had to appear. It used the path of least resistance, the old friend, but it could have been anything. A lottery scratch-off, a tax rebate, a forgotten crypto wallet. The how is not your business. The how is God's business. Your business is the what and the now. Before I give you the prayer, I need you to make a commitment. This is active participation. Go down to the comments right now and write, "I will say this prayer tonight." Do it now. Lock in your intention. When you type it, you are physically manifesting your will into the digital realm. It tells your subconscious you are serious. Now, we need to prepare the vessel. You cannot pour fine wine into a cup filled with mud. Most people try to manifest wealth while holding on to immense resentment, anger, and fear. If you go to sleep angry at your boss, or resentful of your ex, or hating yourself for a mistake you made 3 years ago, you are clogging the channel. The rabbi taught me that the Hebrew word for money is kesef. It comes from the root word kisuf, which means yearning or longing. But it also connects to the idea of silver, of reflection. Your reality reflects your internal state. If your internal state is blocked by a grudge, the money cannot flow. It stops at the dam you built. So, step 1 of the protocol, before you even think about the prayer, is the release. Tonight, when you lay your head on the pillow, you are going to do a mental sweep. You are going to visualize the faces of everyone who annoyed you today, everyone who owes you money, everyone who doubted you. And you are going to say, "I release you. I forgive you. You have no power over my tomorrow." You have to mean it. You have to feel the cord cutting. You are reclaiming your energy. You need that energy to power the magnet of wealth. You cannot be a magnet if you are scattered. Once the vessel is clean, we move to the reception. This is where most people fail. They say a prayer for money, but they are visualized on the lack of it. They are thinking, "Please God, I need money because I am broke." The subtext is, "I am broke." The universe is a giant Xerox machine. It copies what you are, not what you want. The rabbi explained that in the ancient Kabbalistic texts, there is a concept called shefa. It means flow or abundance. Shefa is always pouring down from the upper worlds. It never stops. It is like sunlight. If you are in a dark room, it is not because the sun stopped shining. It is because you have the curtains drawn. This prayer pulls back the curtains. We are going to use a technique called assumptive affirmation combined with a specific Hebraic vibration. The prayer is in English, so your conscious mind understands it, but it is structured with the rhythm of the Psalms. The rabbi told me that sound is vibration, and the universe was spoken into existence. Let there be light. He didn't think it, he spoke it. When you whisper this tonight, you are speaking your financial reality into existence. You must understand that money is often just a solidified idea. Sometimes the answer to this prayer comes as cash, but often it comes as a lightning bolt of insight. I remember a woman named Sarah who used this method. She was a freelance writer, barely making rent. She used the prayer for 3 nights. On the 3rd morning, she didn't wake up to a check. She woke up with a phrase in her head, a slogan for a brand she was trying to pitch to. It was so clear, so loud, she had to write it down. She sent the pitch that morning. The company loved it so much, they put her on a retainer for 6 figures a year. The money was in the idea, and the prayer unlocked the idea. So, are you ready to receive? Are you ready to stop chasing and start attracting? We are about to go through the prayer line by line. I want you to understand what you are saying, because belief is the fuel. If you just parrot the words without understanding the power behind them, you are just making noise. But if you understand the architecture of these sentences, you become a creator. The prayer has 3 parts. The first part is the acknowledgement of source. It reminds your ego that you are not the provider. The infinite is the provider. This takes the pressure off your shoulders. The second part is the opening of the gates. This is where we command the shefa, the flow, to enter your specific reality. And the third part is the seal of gratitude, claiming it as done. Here is how we begin. Tonight, when the house is quiet and the lights are out, you will sit on the edge of your bed. Do not lie down yet. Lying down signals sleep. Sitting up signals readiness. You are a sentry waiting for orders, or rather, a commander giving them. Put your phone in another room. I mean it. The blue light from that screen is the enemy of the alpha waves we are trying to generate. You need total, pitch black darkness, or at least the room dim enough that the shadows soften the hard edges of your furniture. This softens the hard edges of your reality. Close your eyes. I want you to take 3 deep breaths. Not shallow chest breaths, but deep, belly-filling breaths that expand your diaphragm. With every exhale, imagine you are breathing out the static of the day. The bills, the arguments, the traffic, the worry about the future. Blow it out like gray smoke. Clear the vessel. If the cup is full of vinegar, you cannot fill it with honey. Empty the cup. Now, we enter part 1, the acknowledgement of source. You are going to whisper this, not in your head, but audibly. The vibration must touch your lips. The Rabbi said, a word unspoken is a sword left in the sheath. You need to cut through the veil. Preserve the original language of the text. Whisper this, infinite supply. I acknowledge that you are the only reality. There is no lack in nature, and there is no lack in me. I disconnect from the illusion of scarcity. Feel the weight of that, the illusion of scarcity. You are telling your subconscious that poverty is a lie. It is a glitch in the matrix. Look at the trees. They don't worry about growing leaves. Look at the ocean. It doesn't worry about running out of water. Only humans worry. By saying this, you are aligning yourself back with the natural order of things. You are stepping out of the human panic frequency and into the creation frequency. Now, pay attention, because this is where most people fail. As you say this, your logical mind, that little skeptic living in your frontal lobe, is going to scream. It's going to say, but look at your bank account, look at the debt. You must treat that voice like a tantrum-throwing child. Do not fight it. Just acknowledge it and return to the whisper. You are overriding the programming. Part 2, the opening of the gates. This is the engine of the prayer. This is where we use the concept of shefa. In the mystical tradition, Shifa is the divine flow of abundance that is constantly raining down, but we have umbrellas of doubt blocking it. We are going to close the umbrella. Place your right hand over your heart. Feel the beat. That rhythm is the drum of your existence. Whisper these words slowly, savoring every syllable. I am now an open vessel for the divine flow. I command the gates of abundance to swing wide. Money, opportunity, and wealth are not things I chase. They are things I am. I draw them to me like a magnet draws steel. Accepted, accepted, accepted. Why repeat accepted 3 times? In the ancient texts, doing something 3 times establishes a legal fact. You are signing the contract with the universe. You are not asking permission. You are accepting a delivery. Imagine as you say this, a golden light pouring into the crown of your head, moving down your spine, through your heart, down your arms, and pooling in your hands. It feels heavy. It feels warm. This is not imagination. This is energy manipulation. You are physically changing the electromagnetic field around your body. Science tells us the heart has a magnetic field 5,000 times stronger than the brain. When you feel this gratitude and acceptance in your heart, you become a broadcasting tower. You are sending out a signal that says, I am wealthy. The universe, which is just a mirror, has no choice but to reflect that back to you. I have to pause here and tell you about a man named David. He was a skeptic, a structural engineer, very logical, very rigid. He was facing bankruptcy after a bad investment. He told me he felt foolish whispering to the dark, but he was desperate. On the second night of doing this, during the opening of the gates, he felt a sudden, intense heat in his palms. It scared him. He almost stopped, but he kept going. The next day, he went to a routine inspection of a building site. Because his mind was primed for opportunity rather than fear, he noticed a structural flaw in the blueprints that everyone else had missed. A flaw that would have cost the developers millions. He pointed it out. The developers were so relieved they didn't just thank him. They hired his firm as the lead consultants for their next 5 projects. The bankruptcy didn't happen. The flow happened. The heat in his hands was the physical manifestation of his ability to receive. 3. The seal of gratitude. This is how you lock it in. You don't end a prayer with, I hope so. You end it with, it is done. Whisper, thank you, Infinite Spirit, for the abundance that is already mine. I do not wait to see it to believe it. I believe it, and so I shall see it. It is done. Then sit in silence for 60 seconds. This is the incubation period. Do not rush to check your phone. Do not turn on the TV. Just sit in the darkness and feel the relief. Feel the relief as if the money is already in the bank. How would you breathe if you had an extra $10,000 right now? Breathe like that. How would your shoulders feel? Drop them. That feeling, that physical sensation of relief is the chemical signature of the future. Now, listen to me closely because this is the warning the Rabbi gave me, and it is the reason many people win the lottery and lose it all a year later. When this starts working, and it will start working quickly, you will see signs. It might start small. You find a $20 bill on the street. You get a refund check for an overpayment you didn't know about. A stranger buys you coffee. Do not dismiss these. These are the first drops of rain before the downpour. If you look at the $20 bill and say, is this it? This isn't enough. You are spitting in the face of the flow. You are telling the universe, I am ungrateful, and the gates will slam shut. You must celebrate every single cent that comes into your life from this moment on. When you find a penny, pick it up and say, "Thank you, I accept the flow." You are training your nervous system to be comfortable with receiving. Furthermore, you must understand the nature of money. The word currency comes from the word current, like a river. It must move. If you dam up a river, the water becomes stagnant and toxic. If you receive this abundance and then hoard it out of fear, clamping down on it, terrified to spend a dime, you stop the current. The Rabbi said, "A closed hand cannot receive." As the money comes in, circulate it. Pay your bills with gratitude, not resentment. When you pay for dinner, bless the money as it leaves your hand. Say mentally, "Go out, bless others, and return to me multiplied." This keeps the wheel turning. This keeps the energy fresh. There is a final secret to this, a climax of visualization that you can use if you are in a dire emergency. If you need money within 24 hours. This is high-voltage spiritual technology, so use it sparingly. After you finish the 3 parts of the prayer, while you are sitting in that silence, visualize a specific scene that implies your wish is fulfilled. Do not visualize seeing the money. Visualize the implication of the money. For example, if you need to pay rent, do not visualize a pile of cash. Visualize your landlord shaking your hand and smiling, saying, "Thank you for the payment." Hear his voice. Feel the texture of his hand. Smell the coffee on his breath. Make it hyper-real. Or visualize yourself logging into your bank account, seeing the balance, and feeling a wave of boredom. Yes, boredom. Because when you are wealthy, having money isn't exciting, it's normal. Excitement implies you are surprised, which implies you don't believe you deserve it. Boredom implies ownership. Visualize the normalcy of wealth. Hold that scene for 77 seconds. Why 77? The number 7 in Hebrew numerology represents completion and the natural order. Double 7 is the bridge between the physical and the spiritual. Hold it until it feels like a memory. Then open your eyes, get into bed, and fall asleep in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. As you drift off, your subconscious mind takes that command and goes to work. While you sleep, you are not just resting, you are arranging the chess pieces of your reality. You might wake up in the middle of the night with an idea. Write it down. That is the breadcrumb trail. Follow it. I know this sounds too simple to some of you. We are conditioned to believe that success must be hard, that money must be a struggle, that we must bleed for every dollar. That is the slave mentality that has been programmed into you by a society that needs you to stay small. The truth is, the universe is efficient. Grass doesn't struggle to grow. The planets don't struggle to spin. Struggle is friction caused by resistance. When you remove the resistance with this prayer, you become frictionless. You become a superconductor for prosperity. Tonight is the night. Do not say, "I will try this tomorrow." Tomorrow is a lie. There is only now. The version of you that is wealthy is waiting for you to tune in to his frequency. He is standing right there in the quantum field, wearing the clothes you want to wear, driving the car you want to drive, living the life you dream of. He is waving at you, begging you to align the signal. This prayer is the dial. Turn it. But before you go, I need to ask you for one small exchange of energy. This knowledge was given to me freely, and I give it to you freely. But the cycle must be maintained. If you are ready to accept this challenge, if you are ready to be the black sheep of your family who breaks the cycle of poverty, I want you to leave a comment below. Do not just write "good video." Write, "I am the open vessel." Type it out. Physically typing it is the first action of your new reality. It is your digital signature on the contract. I am the open vessel. Let the algorithm know. Let the universe know. Let yourself know. And one last thing. When the miracle happens, and it will, come back to this video. Share your story. Your testimony will be the key that unlocks someone else's prison cell. We are building a community of alchemists here. Now, turn off the lights. Sit on the edge of the bed. The silence is waiting. The infinite is listening. It is done.